another video. So today we're going to talk about head coach Arthur Smith interview on Dukes and Bell today, and we're going to also talk about some undrafted free agents that I want to talk about and highlight before the start of rookie minicamp. So before we get into that, guys, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and talk about Arthur Smith's interview today on 92.9 to get the game. And one of the main topics was about the draft. And it started off with talking about Drake London, how he was the number one pick. Why did they go ahead and select him at number 8 overall? First thing, of course, he mentioned that he was their top pick on the board at the time, and it also fitted a need. He talked about how thrilled he was to have Drake London there at number 8. His physicality that he showed, how he'd be able to make contested catches on third down, the way he was able to play multiple positions at USC, and what he'll be able to bring to this team because he fit this scheme well. That one of the main reasons that they was able to get him, because it was a need, and the way he'll fit the scheme, and he was the best player on the board at the time. Also mentioned about Arnold Ebiketie, going up and get him, how thrilled it was to get him. Another guy that they actually moved up to get, they definitely wanted him. A good value pick, somebody with high on their board, and once again, the same thing. It fitted a need that for them that they felt like they could actually be able to fill. Also talked about the importance of the Senior Bowl, and they able to actually go down and actually see these guys in person. It's good. One thing to go actually look at film and see what you see on film, see the consistency from these guys, but actually go out and see these guys compete against some of the other guys that's talented guys in the draft. He mentioned D'Angelo Malone was probably one of the most physical guys down at the Senior Bowl, as well as Troy Anderson, somebody that nobody really knew about, but he was invited to the Senior Bowl because of his outstanding year he had at Montana State, and he was another guy that flashed it during the Senior Bowl that turned a lot of heads. So that kind of tell you the importance this Atlanta Falcons scout team actually takes the Senior Bowl and look at these guys and take what they got from the Senior Bowl, go back, look at the film, and see if it matches up to what they actually seen. In these cases, with both of those guys who actually flashed at the Senior Bowl, obviously it paid off, and the Atlanta Falcons was able to select both of them in this year's draft. He talked about competition all throughout the team at the quarterback position with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota. He did say the best player was going to win. Nobody just going to be handed the mantle. That include Marcus Mariota. He's going to have to go out and prove that he is the number one starter against Desmond Ridder. And the same be said for Desmond Ridder. Somebody that wants to come in who's hungry, that probably feel like he should be the starter, is going to come in and compete. That's a good thing. I think that builds a better team because guys on the teams are actually competing each other to try to make sure the best man actually going to play. The same with the offensive line. He talks about the center position, the right tackle position, and the left guard position. It's both all up for grab. All three of those positions going to be in a competition all season. So those guys those incumbent guys that's in the spot right now, the Jalen Mayfields, the Matt Hennessy's, and the Caleb McGarry's, all know that they're going to be in the competition this off season to earn their spots. I think that's a good thing because the best 5 offensive linemen should be there to play, and hopefully we'll be able to see that with this competition and how it plays out during this off season. He mentioned that Troy Anderson actually going to play either Will or Mike linebacker. He also mentioned that, and once again, I felt like he kind of purposely left out Deion Jones when he mentioned Rashawn Evans and he mentioned Michael Walker competing with Troy Anderson for that linebacker position. But once again, he didn't mention Deion Jones. That's just kind of interesting to me. Like I said, no hot takes out there, but I think that's twice. And the number of weeks that he mentioned the linebacker room, and then mentioned the most senior linebacker on the team to be part of that room, to be able somebody that's going to be competing and mentoring Troy Anderson. So it seems deliberate to me. I'm not going, like I said, I'm not speculating anything, but we'll just have to see what turns out with that, because I just don't understand how you mentioned the linebacker room twice in like a 3-week period, and you don't mention the like I said, the longest 10-year linebacker that's on the team to be part of that trio that's going to be competing for the middle linebacker position. So just take it with what you made about that, but that's just interesting to me. Then the last thing I want to talk about, Arthur Smith. He talked about that this team is in a rebuild. They coming in to compete this year. They want to come in. They want to be competitive. They're going to go out every week and try to win games. I think that's good to hear from a fan. I don't want to go to games and see this team just lay down. I don't think any professional player wants to go out and lose every week. They're trying to go out and compete. They try to compete for the ultimate goal that everybody compete for every year, and that's the Super Bowl. As a fan base, as a team, I think everybody knows where we're at currently under our the roster, how it's constructed with a lot of one-year deals. Lost our starting franchise quarterback. Lost some of our other key components on the offensive side of the ball. But at the same time, they are professionals. They can go out and they compete. One thing I like, he said they're not going to make any excuses. So if they lose, we can blame them. We can not say, well, it was a down year. We just have to wait next year. No, if they lose, that's not what they should be doing. They should be going out and compete, to play hard and try to win each game. So I like that mindset, and hopefully he actually try to get these guys going, and never know what could happen. So we'll just have to see. And then one of the last things he said about preseason, he felt like he probably should have played some of his guys more in the preseason. It was hard for a first-year coach to actually go out and not play his guys during the preseason. He felt like the practices that he had through the training camp, the joint practice they had with Miami, that some of those things was going to get his guys ready to go. Obviously, we saw what happened in the first game of the season. A lot of penalties. Poor Jalen Mayfield got ran through by Fletcher Cox, but it's just the way it goes. So a lot of those guys going to get a lot of reps this preseason. We're going to actually get to see Des Murder out there. We're going to get to see a lot of these guys out there and see what they're all about. I think that's important to see, especially when we're in this transition period, to see what we actually have out of this young team moving forward. So, guys, I definitely would like, if you have not, go ahead and listen to that interview from Arthur Smith. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did you hear some of the same things that I heard? Do you think things are going in the right direction? Is he hearing everything that you want to hear from a head coach from your favorite team? Or is it something that you think that he could probably address and shed some more light on before the season starts, or going into the off-season program? All right, last thing I want to talk about, like I said, is some of the undrafted free agents that I'm gonna highlight. Of course, the Falcons signed 13 undrafted free agents. Also, they invited a couple of more guys to the rookie minicamp that's starting here on the 13th. So, but I want to highlight 5. Some guys that I think just could be interesting to watch during the undrafted. During the camp, during the rookie mini camp, during the training camp, and see if these guys able to easily, get on the 53-man roster, or at least get a spot on the 16 team practice squad, moving in to start the season. And always remember, guys, that a lot of these guys, if they don't make this 53-man roster, if they flashed enough on film during these preseason games, another team could actually pick them up as well. So it's not like they're out the door if they don't make this team. They flash well enough, and the Falcons feel like they got enough depth in those positions, and they was not able to sign them on the 53-man roster. Some other team might be able to have some open spots. So they're interviewing for every all 32 teams, even though they're trying to make the Atlanta Falcons at the same time. These guys need to put their best foot forward on tape, on film, so every team in the NFL actually get a look at them. So the first player I'm going to talk about is Tyler Rabel. Yes, he's the son of the head coach for the Tennessee Titans. Of course, his inconsistency in college at Boston College is the reason why he was undrafted. He actually started as a freshman at left tackle. Due to injuries, he was moved to right tackle. So his injuries, his inconsistency, his rawness that he have is the reason why he was not able to actually get onto a team via the draft. However, he is going to get an opportunity with the Atlanta Falcons to see can he actually end up being a depth piece in that offensive lineman room. Of course, like I said, we know it's a major competition this offseason. So we'll just have to see if Tyler be able to compete well enough to actually get a spot, at least on the practice squad. Jared Bernhardt, actually a lacrosse player of the year for Maryland, actually moved over to Ferris State on Division II team as quarterback, went 14-0 and won the national championship in the Division II at Ferris State. So Jared Bernhardt is an athlete. The Falcons like to go bring in athletes and see what these guys all about. He's coming as a wide receiver. We'll just have to see if he's going to be able to utilize some of that lacrosse athletic ability that he has, that 14-0 record that he was able to garner at Ferris State, and see can he do something in the professional level, and see can he actually make a team here with the Atlanta Falcons. On the next two guys, Timothy Horn, Derek Tangelo, defensive tackles. Because the Falcons did not really address this position in their draft, I think this could be a big position for these guys to actually make the team, to add to that depth at that position. So if one of these guys shine and hit well, one of these guys could definitely make the 53-man roster as a depth piece. I like both. Derek Tangelo, coming out of Penn State, along with Armada Katie. He transferred from Duke, came in 1 year, played well, of course. Like I said, another guy that just didn't flash enough to actually get drafted, but did put some good film on tape that you can actually see that his upside, and that's why he's actually brought in to compete for a position here with the Falcons. Timothy Horn come from Kansas State, another guy, both guys over 300 pounds, being able to come in and actually see if can they actually make the 53-man roster at that defensive tackle spot. We all know DPs like a big defensive tackle, somebody that can actually draw double teams to kind of free up somebody like a Grady Jarrett, and then those guys on the end on the outside to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. And then the last guy is Brad Hawkins, a safety out of Michigan. Everybody know about the other safety from Michigan that got drafted early, and I think he got drafted in the first round. But Hawkins actually played a little linebacker at Michigan as well. So he's a hitter. He's a thumper. He plays a lot of physicality. I really see his leadership on the on film shows his ability to play those multiple positions. His ability to come up and fill in the box. It kind of remind me of Eric Harris, the way he played. Eric Harris played a little linebacker as well and was able to play strong safety and play that spot. Both of those guys like to hit offensive players and attack the ball. So I really want to see what Brad Hawkins is going to be able to bring to the table. See if he's going to be able to show some of that physicality. One of the interviews I've seen from Brad Hawkins, he talked about how he loved the game. I love players like that. Somebody talk about it, just the love of the game. A lot of people come in for so many different reasons, but when a guy comes in and talk about they just love to play football, those are the kind of guys that you want on your team. So, guys, these are the 5 guys I'm highlighting. Of course, there are more guys out there that definitely could be considered to be guys that could definitely make this team. So, if you got any other guys that you think that I left off this list that could be highlighted, just let me know. But these are the guys that I think that could make some noise during this training camp, during this off season, and see what they're going to be able to do. So you guys let me know what you think about these 5 guys. So guys, that's all I have today. Please, like I said, go ahead and listen to the interview from 92.9 The Game, Coach Smith. See what you think, what's your thoughts, and then let me know what you think about the undrafted free agents as well, and if any of these guys going to hit for you. And that's all I have. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.